My boyfriend, 22 male, has really bad personal hygiene and it's affecting me, 23 female. My boyfriend and I have been together over 2 years now. For the past year or so he's lived with me in my place. He used to be awesome about taking showers and brushing his teeth, twice daily on teeth and showers daily in the AM. But ever since he moved in with me, most of his personal hygiene is out the window. For starters, his hair is basically halfway down his back, like long metal head hair but greasy in a rat's nest. He never brushes it. Every single morning, I wake up to the most horrific breath and body odor known to mankind. His mouth literally smells like something is rotting inside of it, like the kind to make you lightheaded and nauseous. I'm lucky if he showers once a week. I basically told him no sex unless he's fresh out of the shower because I kept getting recurrent UTIs. But then I also get paranoid if we don't have sex cause he had a horrible porn addiction. Another reason I don't enjoy sex with him is he has dirt caked under his fingernails and all over his hands. He's a mechanic at a bowling alley, but this isn't like a day worth of buildup. Trust me. Basically I have to ask nicely and he's like, I will at some point later tonight. A few hours pass, I remind him and he just gets upset or angry with me. I'm a very well-kept person. Even as someone who struggles with depression I refuse to dirty. I brush my teeth 2-3x a day, shower once a day and go get haircuts and whatnot regularly. I wish I knew what it was that causes him such a problem to take care of himself. It's like I'm having to parent him in a way. If anyone has struggled with someone like this, how did you go about helping them? Thanks in advance. Gross. He is risking your health by being so dirty. How are you even attracted to him anymore? This would be a total deal-breaker for me. Rancid breath, greasy, filthy hair, disgusting nails and he showers once a week. Girl, the bar for men really is in hell. Why would you put up with living with a literal garbage pile? This is disgusting. You aren't his mom, you're his partner. He's clearly struggling but you can't make him realize this is bad if he doesn't already. If you want to help him you tell him he either seeks help immediately for his mental health or it's over. Honestly I'd end it either way. If you mention it and offer help and he refuses, the only thing you can really do is leave him. Don't sacrifice yourself for him. He sounds disgusting, he hardly takes care of himself, I bet he doesn't do anything for you. Leave him. Hygiene is common sense. If he doesn't have that basic knowledge or even care for you in health way, how do you think he will ever take care of you in this lifetime? Plus he's a porn addict. At one point or the other he will get worse in the future. Save yourself and get out of it. The recurrent UTIs would have been the kicker for me. Hell, seeing dirt under the nails knowing that is going in my body would gross me out. You are a pretty girl dating a rat of a boy, and if he won't step up and be a reasonably hygienic adult there isn't much you can do. And yes, the bar for men on here is so low it's lower than rock bottom. At least the stories I read on here anyways. This whole thing grossed me out. This man does not care enough about your health to clean under his fingernails and keep his junk clean? Don't even get me started on the oral hygiene. Girl, you know what to do. Break up with him and tell him exactly why. I, 25M, am having trouble getting into it with my friend turned girlfriend, 25F. Alright, so for some background, my best friend and I have known each other since middle school. We were pretty close in MS and HS but we kinda lost touch during college. However, we reconnected after we graduated and started spending a ton of time together. She would constantly be like, vaguely flirty with me, but whenever someone brought up the idea of us dating, she'd say she doesn't date or fuck friends. Anyway, despite that, a couple months ago there was a drunken incident that involved her measuring my dick with her hands, and after that we had a talk and now we've been dating. It's been going great and I do find her very physically attractive. We're also very sexually compatible it seems. The thing is, it still kinda feels weird having sex with her because of our history as friends. IDK how to describe it really, but it just doesn't feel right sometimes. It still doesn't feel real, I guess? IDK just not sure how to handle it. Will it go away with time? Stop thinking with the big head and think with the other one. Get out of your own head, man. Enjoy it. I imagine it will fade in time as you get used to everything. I was in this same boat with my husband. Friends for 10 years. Finally realized we should just be together. Things still feel weird sometimes, like we're having a really good time together just hanging out, and, in that moment, I can't even fathom him as a sexual prospect. Then we kiss and my brain resets and things are fine again. The sex is also incredible because I know this person better than I know myself and there's never any awkwardness. Best advice I can give. You get over it lol. Being friends beforehand makes for a really solid relationship foundation because marriage is so much more than fucking. Not only do I love my person, I like my person outside of just existing as lovers. This post has almost been up an hour and not a single person before me has mentioned buttery lobsters or juicy steaks. I'll never understand this. The best relationships are with friends. My wife was my friend for 5 years before we started dating. Very interesting. I feel like I'm in a similar situation. Friends with someone for almost a decade, became very close, started hooking up. Chemistry is great, but I feel like I can't take it past hand stuff because I'm afraid, actually terrified, of what will change. But the change from just friends to hooking up, being physical at all, was weird at first too and took some time to get used to. I normally never take things slow sexually. The stakes are higher with friends but the payoff is usually greater? IDK. 23M, mentally can't carry on with partner, 20F, what can I do? As the post says, I'm just mentally exhausted. Me and my girlfriend have been dating for around 2 years now. I met her when she was 19 and I 21. I just don't feel like I can remain in the relationship anymore. I genuinely feel like I have been a very good and supporting partner, yet I am constantly under fire. She is an only child, so she requires a lot of attention, and coming from a wealthy family, she doesn't quite appreciate things like I do. That bothers me too. I work full-time, to pay for all of our dates, every single one, including holidays. She doesn't like to spend her money on our dates. And I'll call her every night and try to text as much as possible. If I miss a call, she'll get extremely angry, suspect she has anger issues. She just seems a bit immature. An argument won't end unless I back down and soak up the heat. I'm always calm and ensure I never let her see me angry, and make sure to never swear at her. But she doesn't offer me the same respect. I just don't know what to do, because I don't have a valid reason to end it with her, and her family are genuinely so sweet. We do have good times, but they're so scarce. Does anyone know how to navigate this difficult time? You're with someone who is disrespectful, attention-seeking, self-absorbed, and always raining fire down upon you, and you don't think you have a valid reason to end the relationship? You being unhappy in a relationship is a valid reason to end it. You should do whatever makes you happy. Not feeling appreciated and putting in more than your fair share are valid reasons to break up. Also, Dodson thinking about if you want to be a provider at 21. Her outright saying she doesn't want to spend her money on dates is her saying she doesn't think you're worth it at best, and that she's a leech looking for a provider at worst. Get used to putting in 40 hours weeks just to afford misery if you can't find a reason to leave. She doesn't offer you the same respect because she doesn't respect you, clearly doesn't value you or appreciate you. You don't need to give her a valid reason, just tell her you are not getting love or support in this relationship and you are over it and putting in all the effort and getting not a lot in return. Being an only child is not an excuse to behave that way in my opinion. My partner is an only child as well and he is the sweetest person known to mankind. Your feelings and desire to depart the relationship are valid. You can and will do better when it comes to relationships. How do I 23 female approach issues I have with the way my fiancé 27 male acts? My fiancé and I live very busy lives. He leaves for work at 5:30 a.m. and then gets home around 5:36 o'clock. He does this Monday, Friday. I work Monday, Saturday, leaving around 7:30 a.m. and then I'm off at 4:30 but pick up my niece from daycare for my sister, so I get home around 6. So we are very busy people. My fiancé and I have been so tense with each other in the last couple months. I am a clean freak, I like things clean. That being said, I love to clean. My fiancé is not a clean freak, which is fine. But when I do clean things, it feels like he comes behind me and makes a mess. We've been so busy lately our house has gotten a little sloppy. Crumbs stuck to my feet, spills left on the table, dishes piled in the sink. It's an overstimulation nightmare for me. I have told my fiancé numerous times it makes me so stressed out when stuff is just left. The worst is sometimes I wake up around 6, he's left 30 minutes prior for work, and there's breadcrumbs everywhere, toaster left out, half the lights on, the garbage can is so full the lid won't even close. Here is my fault. I will text him and it's usually because I'm stressed out and angry and say something nasty like, WTF? You overfilled the garbage but couldn't have taken it out with you when you left? So then it starts it all and he will immediately tell me I'm being a b with an itch and so forth. Which is fair. I am. Significant other WE talked about this and I tried to tell him how the messes overstimulate me and I can only clean up so much, and if we both picked up after ourselves it wouldn't be so bad. His reply was that he doesn't like me bothering him about it in the morning and he kept repeating that I need to shut my mouth in the morning and just clean the messes up. I tried to say that's not right and we can both clean up but he just kept saying, shut your mouth and do it. Sad face now. I try to talk to him about him being so angry and why he can't help me clean up his messes and he won't even look up from his phone. If he does, he rolls his eyes. So I've tried that. I've been just not saying anything and just cleaning up but it's overwhelming me significant other bad. I don't have time for anything anymore. I'm spending my time after work cleaning while he sits on the couch and watches his show. When I go to sit down at 9:10 p.m., he turns his show off and goes to bed. We have not done anything romantic in months. Last night, I was folding laundry and he came in to get something from the dryer. I hadn't put it on yet, so the clothes were wet. He started pulling out my clothes and throwing them on the dirty floor. Yes, actually dirty. It hadn't been vacuumed in weeks because I keep forgetting, and I said, "Oh hey, maybe don't throw them on the..." And he grabbed them all and literally threw them into the dryer and slammed it and said, "Turn it on. Turn the dryer on." I tried to ask him what was wrong. I was just going to tell him I didn't want my clean wet clothes collecting the dirt from the ground, and he lost it. Every single time I try to ask him why he's so angry, or if he could maybe help me clean, he will immediately turn it on me. He keeps telling me it's the fact that I tell him what he's doing things wrong. I'm not sure how to word things without it seeming like I'm attacking him. I'm not. I'm just asking. He looks up from his phone when we're talking about serious things and that he helps out around the house, but he said that all I have to say is insults to him. I told him I know I do things wrong and I can acknowledge that, but then the whole conversation just turns into why I'm a bitch lol. How do I approach him more? Subtly, I guess? Less insulting? IDEC. You need to call off the wedding and dump him. And no, one last time, breakup sex. The last thing you need is to get pregnant. Please take it from someone a lot older than you that you will look back on this and be significant other grateful you didn't marry him. I remember being your age and so very in love with men that I am so glad I didn't marry. Most women a decade or two older than you have at least one guy like that, sort of the opposite of the one who got away. Chalk this one up to experience. Don't date anybody for 6 months to a year. Take that time to work with a therapist on having higher standards regarding future partners, and only then give dating a whirl again. Honestly, reads like he's mad you're not doing his labor for him. Sounds like he has serious gender essentialism going on, not his job to clean, etc. And you'd be safer elsewhere. Take a trial separation? If he's losing his shit, it's not your fault, but he is actively putting work on your shoulders while yelling at you. Not okay, and not supportive. You're gonna have to come to terms with this. If you're not okay with this, it's best to find someone else that's closer and or is on the same page as you when it comes to this issue. Homeboy ain't changing. Your partner tells you to shut your mouth? If my partner had ever said that to me just once, he'd be sleeping in the car. Except he never would, because he loves and respects me. And he does his share of housework without ever needing to be asked. And pulling your clothes out of the dryer and throwing them on the floor? What a prize arsehole. Is this how you want to spend your married life? What if he spoke to you like that in front of future kids? Your fiancé sounds really unpleasant. Don't put up with this shit. This is your life if you marry him. Was he happier when you were doing all the housework? Think about why and whether he really would step up in the future and if you have kids together. He can't even give you his full attention for a conversation. You are lollying too much at really unhelpful behavior on his part and at how much it's stressing you out. Please reconsider this relationship.